Good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing out there? Let me know if you can hear me fine. Week 4. Still got a lot of questions that need to be answered about Week 4. Give me 1 second here, just making sure that I'm up live everywhere. Let me turn off that tracer. Where did my background go? There we go. Nate, how you doing, buddy? We got a lot of things to dissect here going into Week 4. A lot of guys questionable. A lot of guys we got to figure out how many touches we think they're going to get. Gigantic pain in our ass. Nate, how you doing? Can you hear me? Hey, how's it going? Zindika over on Twitch, welcome to the stream. So first I want to say we've got this golden matchup. The Chargers versus Miami. But man, this one is it's troubling me as Melvin Gordon is active. Eckler was a dream spot going into the game, going into the week. And now we don't know, like, who's going to be the goal line back, who's going to get the red zone touches. Definitely. Let's talk after. You can email me at rick@rotoheat.com or hit me up on Twitter or Facebook or whatever, and we can definitely talk. I'm definitely interested in networking. So, yeah, just contact me. Jesse over on Facebook asked, do we want to start Will Fuller or John Brown in PPR? And PPR, I'm definitely going with Will Fuller. Patriots defense has been locked down, so I love John Brown, but this is not the matchup that I want to try to take advantage of. And I like the matchup that Will Fuller's got. And he's getting the opportunity. It just hasn't converted yet. So I look forward to that. Yeah, I'll definitely hit you up. Let's see, YouTube, nothing yet. Not a problem, man. Back to the Chargers game, I definitely have some concerns here. I'm still learning Twitch, Zindika. I need to figure out all those commands and how to set all that up, so I haven't done that yet. But back to the Chargers game, the targets and the touches should be concentrated, but it worries me a little bit with as bad as Miami is. Lamar Jackson or Daniel Jones? I'm going Lamar. Like, I'm not sitting Lamar right now. I'm not sitting Lamar Jackson right now. I know Daniel Jones looked really, really good in his first game, but I definitely can't. I can't sit Lamar Jackson. I mean, he's averaging 2 less points than Patrick Mahomes, so I got to go with him. Any news on McLaurin? All my possible options to replace him are in the early games. McLaurin in the late game, tough spot. To be honest with you, I understand McLaurin has started out great. Obviously, 3 straight games, 5 receptions and a touchdown. First player to ever do that. But when you're talking players with a hamstring, the same week as their game, like, I've got to stay away from them. I would play one of the early guys to make sure, even if he's active, do we know that he's going to run enough routes, get enough target share? Obviously, it sucks because that's a game we want to target. We want to play our receivers against the Giants, but hamstrings are troublesome for sure. My only options outside of him are Corey Davis. Well, we know Corey Davis is going to be on the field, and for me, that's the important part. I also think that this could be a breakout game for Corey Davis. His matchups the first 3 weeks were horrible, but, I mean, hamstrings scare the hell out of me, and that's one reason why I'm targeting, even if Darius Slay plays, one of the best shutdown corners, but, can you play with a hamstring injury? I don't feel confident in anybody playing with hamstring injury. Wide receivers and cornerbacks, especially, the positions predicated on speed. If McLaurin doesn't have a speed, then what happens? Giants are obviously bad. He could still be involved in the red zone, but, I mean, it's a risk. If you can take the risk, if the rest of your roster is pretty solid and you match up against your opponent pretty well, then you could definitely take that risk. But I don't know, man. Hamstring injuries, they scare me off. Your best friends with Malik Hooker, huh? I can tell you that I'm not real big on IDP defensive players, but hopefully he's doing well if you're good friends with him. Shelton Mayfield asks, flex standard, Mecole Hardman or Darrell Williams? I mean, not sure. Mecole did not get a lot of work. He had a big play in that last game. I think Darrell Williams is going to be involved. That's a tough one for me, though. I mean, I would look at floor versus ceiling. Hardman's got the higher ceiling. If you need a boom player to help you out, look at your roster and see how you match up against your opponent, and obviously be, honest about it. If you feel like you're behind, then, go for the big player. And if you feel like you just need to make sure you get some points, go with Darrell Williams with the floor, because I think his floor is higher. Mecole Hardman's floor is 0. Fusion says flex PPR Carson, Dorsett, Mike Evans. I'm playing Mike Evans always. I like Carson too. Philip Dorsett's not in the conversation. Philip Dorsett has a terrible matchup. I really respect the Bills' defense, and he's either going to be you know, he's either going to have Tre'Davious White or Wallace on him, and neither of them are good matchups for him. Hey, Rob Sullivan, how you doing, buddy? I have not heard any news on Godwin yet, Eric Robinson. I have not heard anything on Godwin. We do need to keep an eye on that. Obviously, for DFS purposes, if Godwin's out, that opens up some Rashad Perriman. It might also help out somebody like O.J. Howard or even Cameron Brate. It's a lot of targets that go up in the air that get spread out. But I'm definitely Fusion. I'm definitely playing Mike Evans out of those three. And then Chris Carson. And then Dorsett would not be in my lineup for sure. Yeah, I mean it's hard to trust Carson right now, but they don't really have any option to go away from him. But the other thing is Carson's never had fumbling issues before, so it's weird. It's one of them things that has popped up, but it could literally go away at any point too. 1 point PPR, Metcalf versus Arizona or Curtis Samuel versus Houston. That's another case of ceiling versus floor. Samuel's a safe play, but I think Metcalf has a huge ceiling this week. He's one of my favorite DFS plays. That Arizona secondary is horrendous, so he could catch a couple long bombs and a touchdown, and he could go for 120 yards and a TD with 5 catches this week, and it wouldn't surprise me at all. Curtis Samuel probably going to be in 5-6 receptions, 80 to 90 yards with a potential touchdown, but he is a safer floor. Obviously, Metcalf could go, 2 for 60 and no touchdowns and score you 8. So it's a floor versus ceiling for me there. Excuse me. I just had a huge breakfast at Charger House, Travis. Biscuits and gravy. Awesome. Excuse me. What was I going to say? Pick two visions over on YouTube asks Carlos Hyde, Kenyon Drake, Darrell Williams. Honestly, man. Carlos Hyde has the floor because he's going to get touches. We know that. Kenyon Drake's, it's probably Hyde and Drake for me, and I don't love it. Unless we hear some more news that McCoy isn't as healthy as we'd like. What's up, Jamie? Anthony, how you doing? Bacon lasagna, I've never had that before. I need to check that out for sure. That sounds amazing. That sounds absolutely amazing. Bacon lasagna. Let me check here. Let's see if we got any more news. Cool, that didn't work. Sources say Ramsey is in Denver with the Jags. Obviously, for DFS purposes, even for season-long purposes, if Ramsey didn't play today, it would be, big for somebody like Cortland Sutton. Bacon with anything is awesome, but that That definitely sounds very, very good. Okay, what do we got here? Yep, we got people over on Facebook that are just like bacon. Bacon. That sounds legit. We got all kinds of. We're gonna turn into a food show here, and I'm a grill master, and I love slow cooking stuff. What game do you play, Zyndica? I hope I'm saying your name right. Need insight. Losing faith in Jared Cook. Would you pick up one of these guys or play Cook? Non-PPR. Vernon Davis, Jack Doyle, Jason Witten, Jordan Akins. I actually just picked up Akins in a couple spots. Vernon Davis, it seems like they kind of, Monday night, they worked in that, what was it, Sprinkle or whatever his name was, the other tight end a little bit more. So I'm not real confident in any of those guys. But this week, Jack Doyle might be the play if Hilton's out. So we got to wait on the word on Hilton. But I would go Doyle or Akins if you went with any of those guys. Keenan Allen is about to catch 20 today. Yeah, it just depends on how bad that game gets. If I'm the Chargers and we got up, like with the injuries they've had, they can't risk it. I would get my guys off the field. I'd play taxi squad players. They cannot risk anymore. Rob Sullivan says bacon is a must start. You cannot sit the bacon. I agree 100%. We're on the same page, Rob. That is Rob from Sully's 2 Cents, peoples. If you're not following Sully's 2 Cents on iTunes, Podbean, wherever you get your podcasts, make sure you do that. I'll answer Two Visions question, and then I'll get to Jamie's question over on Facebook about food. DJ Shark or Chris Godwin, even though Godwin is a game time decision. I don't like DJ Shark's matchup. So I would prefer Chris Godwin if he's healthy. DJ Shark's going to have Chris Harris on him probably, and we don't like that. Oh, goodness. Zyndica doesn't even know about the whole... Our Facebook community has a whole pineapple on pizza deal. And you're on the wrong side of this. Jamie says, what are you putting on pork for a rub before smoking? I actually do quite a few things with my pork. I've made like a brown sugar honey glaze before. I use a lot of Old Bay when I cook. I do a lot of pulled pork stuff with pork. Normally, that's what I'm doing when I smoke or anything pork. But I use a lot of Old Bay. Random rubs. I like to just try a bunch of different stuff. Like, I figure if something's good, if I mix stuff together that's good, I can make different flavors and whatnot. So I try a bunch of different stuff. No problem, Two Visions. That's what we're here for. This week's a tough week. We're getting in the buys, so we knew this week was going to be tougher than normal anyway, because we got bye weeks coming in. But then the buys this week weren't like anything crazy. Obviously, Le'Veon Bell out, but we were already having trouble with the Jets because of Darnold anyway. But then just injuries, man. Injuries, matchups. This week's a tough week. Pineapple on pizza is the greatest. It's the pizza equivalent to dipping fries in your Frosty at Wendy's. I agree. I love pineapple on pizza. Rob says, holy shit, I'm hungry. Paul says, Walmart General Brand wing sauces are actually awesome. Jamie says I should do a tailgate food show. I want to say that I'm not like certified smoke master or grill master or anything like that. I'm self-proclaimed, but I love it. Zyndica over on Twitch is saying I dip my fries in my Wendy ice cream shake too. It's that salty and sweet and warm and cold. It's those drastic differences. That's what I try to do when I cook too. I try to, get some really different flavors going, that get your palate kind of almost confused. Like what is this magical taste that's in my mouth? But Jamie says I should do a tailgate food show. I'll set up in the kitchen and show you guys what I'm all about. I'm just, I just experiment. I just experiment with stuff. I don't go by any recipes or anything. I normally, I might look at a recipe for some ideas but then I just add stuff to it that I like. Jamie says Humphreys, Davis, or John Ross, PPR. Humphreys, Davis, or John Ross. And man, that's a bad one to ask me because everybody knows that I'm a Corey Davis truther. I go Corey Davis. Excuse me. Media says, do I trust Barber on Tampa Bay or take Peterson in full PPR? I don't trust either of them. I probably take Peterson just because the Giants are not good on defense. Let me look at running back matchups here. Defense versus running backs. Let me look at something, and then I'll just give you the information that I've got. So we've got... Okay, so the Rams give up 25.8 points to running backs per game, and the Giants give up 23.7. We know that Ronald Jones is going to be involved in Tampa Bay. We know that Chris Thompson's going to be involved in Washington. This is really a pure toss-up dart throw. I don't feel comfortable with either of them. I would probably go with Peterson, though. He should get most of the carries. Yeah, I got hurt by Barkley in 2, and I traded him in 1. I hate it. It sucks to get that type of injury. I just got a notification. I've been saying this, that the wide receivers in New England have a tough week. Tom Brady has averaged 21 completions and 233 yards in his last 4 games against Buffalo. He has 3 TDs, 4 interceptions, and he hasn't thrown a TD in New Era Field since 2016. That's a tough matchup. Yeah, Duke Johnson is frustrating too. Like, they're not using him, and it's irritating because I thought he got freed getting out of Cleveland, and it has not done any better. Full point PPR, James White versus Buffalo or Drake versus the Chargers. I like this week for that same reason I was just talking about. I think it could be a James White week in Buffalo. Barber, Corey Davis, or Sutton. If Ramsey does not play, if we get that news, and we should be getting news in the next 5 to 10 minutes, then Sutton is my play there. If not, it's Corey Davis. Excuse me. What was I going to show? So Michelle Day, it's so hard to play Michelle right now. But I mean, Buffalo's run defense isn't bad either. It's just a bad matchup all around. I like James White though. Royce Freeman or Rojo this week in half PPR. I probably, man, I don't know. Those ones are so tough. I probably go Royce because that Denver game, if that weather is bad like it looks, it could turn into a running game for sure. Thanks, Jamie. Good luck to you too. What was I getting ready to look at? I need somebody to talk to me about Melvin Gordon being active. I just feel like he's going to get the red zone stuff, and Austin Eckler gets hurt this week. The last week we thought we were going to get value from him. Somebody tell me why Melvin Gordon would not get the red zone stuff. If he has 10 touches, why they wouldn't be in there. Stafford is in big pain but expected to play. Let's see if this works. There we go. We don't need that. Tyler Croft out. Cam Newton out. We knew that. T.Y. Hilton is still doubtful. Out. Travis Benjamin, doubtful. I don't even think I put Saquon Barkley on the ticker there on the bottom. Thoughts on Devin Smith with Dak for the full slate? I haven't even looked at that. I haven't even looked at the full slate, to be honest with you. I think Devin Smith is a fine GPP play for sure. Should I bench the lemon pepper buffalo medium or sweet chili this week? Lemon pepper's benched for sure. Rob, where did you see that? I haven't seen that. He was only projected to play in emergency roles. I felt like they were in emergency already. They have so many injuries, it's crazy. I mean, obviously you can see when it scrolls. I have not heard that. 10:30, we should be getting our inactives anytime. Oh, wait, never mind. It's another hour. It's only 10:30. We have an hour. Never mind. Oh, man, Malik Hooker's out. The guy that earlier that was talking about him, Malik Hooker is injured this week. He's out with a hurt knee. Looking at... Man, this 4 o'clock nonsense is... we got the Chris Godwin for running back purposes. Akeem Hicks could make a difference. John Brown or Will Fuller. I'm playing Will Fuller this week over John Brown. Patriots defense is serious, guys. They are like top 3 in run defense and pass defense. They are serious. Bro, what's going on, Joe? Paul, today is not a cotton candy day for me. Today is a Bankster Berry day. Oh, wow. Melvin Gordon versus Philip Dorsett, PPR, flex position. We just don't know enough about Melvin Gordon. We don't know how he's going to be used. We don't know how much he's going to be used. We don't know where on the field he's going to be used. I don't like Philip Dorsett this week, but I just think we know that he's going to play and run routes. So I'm probably going with Dorsett there, and I'm probably waiting a week on Melvin Gordon until we know more. Yes, Gilmore is good. That's the other thing. I'm waiting on this Darius Slay news. I'm targeting him anyway, but yeah, that's a tough one. Paul on Facebook says that he'd play Gordon if that's a choice, but at least we know that Dorsett is gonna play. Rob just said that Gordon's only set to play in emergency situations. I haven't seen that particular, news bit. I heard that he's going to be limited to around 10 touches. But we don't know if he could get 4 touches and that's it, and it's troubling. That's a tough decision. Obviously, you spent the capital on Gordon. You want him in your lineup, but it's a tough one for this week. Taylor, how you doing, buddy? I've got a lot of decisions. This week is a tough week. There's a lot of tough matchups and a lot of decisions I've noticed are going around. Jason, Chris, how you guys doing? Sorry I couldn't be more help with that one, Joe. I wish we knew more about how Chargers were planning on using him. They don't have many healthy bodies. It's a tough one. Look at that. Look at the inactives in that game when they scroll across. Maybe that needs to be a little bit faster. Let's speed that scroll up a little bit. That's a little quicker. Let's see what we got here. 2 notes on Chargers running back Melvin Gordon. The plan is for him to be active, but only used in an emergency. 2, Giants wide receiver Golden Tate worked out with him, and the word is Tate is on a mission as he nears return. So Tate is on a mission, or Gordon is. I don't know. But that is from Ian Rappaport. Gordon is tough this week. Oh, wow. There we go. There's some chat. Still torn between Galladay and Shepard. Thinking Shep because Lions going to focus on run, I feel. And Galladay going to see most coverage. I mean, Galladay is a fine play. I don't have any... There's no reasons not to play Galladay, but there's also no reasons not to play Shepard. Fuller or Godwin, PPR, quarter point per target. I'm starting Fuller just because we don't know about Godwin. And if you don't start Fuller and Godwin doesn't play, you're SOL. Wait. Nope, because that... Wait, yeah. Fuller plays at 1. Right? Texans play at 1 o'clock? Yes. So I start Fuller there. Leonard out. Proud of you, Rick, getting that IDP news out. I'm trying, buddy. I told you I'll work on it. I'm just not there yet, and I don't feel confident giving advice. Scott, I'd go Hollywood and Gore. Wait, I missed one. Scott Carpenter, Hollywood Brown or Shark, and Gore or Montgomery. Yeah, I like Hollywood Brown this week. I know we're waiting on news from Cleveland too. Their secondary could be one to target this week. I'm not starting Gore. I would start Montgomery before I started Gore. Like I just said, Patriots are top 3 rush defense and pass defense. Montgomery, Freeman, or Gallman in standard. Standard. Probably Freeman. And I hate saying that, but until Nagy figures out that he's an idiot for not using Montgomery, then Freeman. Wait, you're going to start Ty Montgomery over Montgomery, Ryan? Come on. Oh, I get it. Now I get what you're saying. It's all confusing. I like Jacobs this week, Paul. And especially since, Gruden has said we haven't used him right and they want to use him more. Plus, the kid lost 10 pounds when he was sick. He did not look healthy last week. Sauce money, Gallman or Freeman for me. Probably Freeman. Gallman got a lot of his work in the passing game. Like a third of his touches were in the passing game last time he was getting touches for the Giants, so... Yeah, Leonard out. We like him more. I got to figure out what I'm going to do later because if Akeem Hicks is out, I like Dalvin Cook a lot. If he's not out, then Dalvin Cook takes a hit. Like Kerryon Johnson a lot today at running back. Kansas City giving up 6.1 yards per carry. That's bad. Yeah, Washington's defense isn't good, but they're better on the ground than they are in the passing game. So, um, there is some value that opened up in that Minnesota Chicago game. One, Stephon Diggs is a play. I don't care what anybody says. He went 21 for 173 and a touchdown against Chicago last year. Chicago, over the last 19 games, gives up 15.9 points to wide receiver twos. In those wide receiver twos, that includes guys like Russell Shepard. There was another guy that I'd never even heard of on that list. That that includes Terrell Pryor on that list, Chris Hogan on that list, Kendrick Bourne, Russell Shepard, Paul Richardson. Like, the Bears will give up points to number twos. So, Stephon Diggs is in play. Like I said, last year he had 21 receptions in the 2 games against Chicago, 173 yards and a touchdown. Tariq Cohen's in play too. Sauce Money says it has been raining all day in Chicago, but we will see come game time. Obviously, that turns into a run game, but, hopefully Chicago has Akeem Hicks and, limits that run game and then forces Chris Cousins to pass in the wet weather. That would be awesome. Wow, I just got really tired all of a sudden. Hopefully you're a Bears fan, Sauce Money. Do have to check out weather too. That weather in the Jags Broncos game did not look good last time I looked. You know what? Let's go ahead and check that out. Hurricanes, more hurricanes. Let's go ahead and look at Denver. Wait a second. Am I right? Or is that game in Jacksonville? What the heck? Well, that cleared up. I'm playing Inman, Rob. Yeah, I thought that the Jags game was in Denver. But the weather was literally like supposed to be horrendous in that game. Start sit Stafford or Daniel Jones. Um, I'm probably going with Daniel Jones just because I love the matchup for Stafford, but he is supposedly in a lot of pain. And he's still planning on playing. He's always been a tough guy, but um, I probably go with Daniel Jones. Um, BN Dried Ocean over on YouTube says Dak or Wilson. It is a Wilson week, people. We will play quarterbacks versus Arizona. Russell Wilson versus Arizona for sure. We were literally just talking in the Discord chat last night about the weather in Denver, and it was not looking good. One other question. Jason Witten versus Vernon Davis in PPR. Right now, I'm not confident in how Vernon Davis is being used. I felt like they worked in the backup tight end a little bit more. Andrews. If you have Mark Andrews, you're playing Mark Andrews versus those two, even if Mark Andrews is limited. Limited last week, he saw 7 targets. I want to get back to this weather. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Windy. 20-mile-an-hour wind still. Yeah, 20-mile-an-hour winds. That's rough. Oh, gotcha. How about Waller or Andrews in standard? Yeah, I probably go Andrews. I'm sorry, I missed that one. I wasn't ignoring you. I probably go Andrews and yours Dry to Ocean, and then Joe. I probably go Witten. Gosh, I don't know. That's a tough one, Witten or Davis. I just felt like in the Monday night game they used Davis less and used, is it Sprinkle more. We know Jason Witten's going to be used, and he's a red zone threat there. Yeah, in standard, I go Andrews. If it was PPR, I'd go Waller because he's going to get a bunch of targets. Should I start Tyrell Williams over Edelman? They're reporting Edelman will have limited snaps due to his chest. I probably would. Like I've said a couple times, I don't like that passing game versus the Bills. Joe, how you doing, buddy? Carry-on or Carson? I'm going with Carry-on this week. I think he'll be more involved in the passing game. Chiefs are giving up 6 yards per carry. Mark Andriotti, I hope I said your name right, says Tyrell Williams, Darrell Williams, or Hardman for flex PPR. This one comes down the floor versus ceiling. For me, if I need the floor, I think Darrell Williams is still going to get some opportunity in that running game. Hardman, I think, had 3 targets, 2 catches last week with a big one. Tyrell Williams is going to get the volume, so I would probably go Williams, Tyrell, if I was going to pick out of Hardman and Tyrell. I would, just because he's going to be involved in the red zone, Dried Ocean. Well, I don't know if Oakland can get to the red zone. Like I said, though, Andrews had 7 targets last week. If we get more news, that could change if he's going to be really limited, but he still had 7 targets last week. Oh, I forgot to move that back down. Minshew or Rudolph? Rudolph. Don't worry, I'm starting Rudolph in certain places too. And it's not fun. The quarterback injuries this year have not been fun at all. Bryce Frazier just showed up. I can't wait to watch the Bills beat the Patriots this week. Bills 4-0. That's the campaign for the day. Dried Ocean, I will say, with Waller and Andrews, you're not in a bad spot either way. You could have a lot worse tight end situation. Yeah, literally looking at that wind during the Denver game, I do not know that I would start a quarterback in that game. Edelman is active. Burkhead is active. I am not a Bills fan. I am not a Bills fan at all. But their defense is serious. Their pass defense is serious, for real. And Patriots have already had trouble running the ball. That's fine. You can put money on the Vikings. The game's in Chicago. Bills are at home. Buffalo's right? Patriots play at Bills. Where's it at? Yeah. Buffalo's a tough place to play. Chicago's a tough place to play, so I like Fournette anyway. The only thing that bothers me is the Jags' offensive line. But yeah, I mean the running game gets a notch up. Less so. It was supposed to rain there too, and now it's 0%. So that's not as bad for the passing game, but definitely run game up a notch with 20-mile-an-hour winds. Who has a better chance of winning today, the Lions or the Bills? I think the Bills have a better chance. I really think that's going to be a tough game for the Patriots. For one, the Bills' defense is legit. I think that's known. The Bears-Vikings game can go either way, but it's going to be a close game. Neither of them's blown each other out. And those division games can go either way. It's the same thing I feel about the Bills and Patriots. It's going to be a closer game than people expect. Both defenses are really good, but, the Patriots have had a lot of trouble running the ball. Michelle, for some reason, just is not getting going. Have you heard the GOAT stats in the last 4 games against the Bills? Because they're not good. Billy Goat. Should I play Joe Mixon or Tyrell Williams? I play Joe Mixon. Yeah, I'm not a Bills fan, and I'm honestly, I'm a Bears fan, but I'm an NFL fan before I'm a fan of any team. I say this about all sports. I don't pick a team because I like them or dislike them and give advice. I just think that the Patriots are going to have more trouble with the Bills than people think. Being in Buffalo. If it was in Foxborough, if New England was at home, it would be different for me. David Johnson or Derrick Henry in a standard league. I might go Derrick Henry versus Atlanta, who has trouble with running backs. Yeah, that's been the problem. Josh Allen can't turn it over 4 times, but I think the Bills have a chance to win the game. Frank Gore or Darrell Williams? I wish I knew how much Darrell Williams was going to be used. I lean his way because the Patriots are good against the run, and Frank Gore doesn't have that big play upside to get you, a random long touchdown run. I don't love either of the matchups, but I probably lean Darrell Williams just because they should have an opportunity to score more. Which gives him ups his percentage of a touchdown. Shepard or Demarcus Robinson in Standard League? I'm going Shepard. Shepard's going to be involved. He's going to have volume. Are the Hawks a lock against the Cards? I don't think anybody's a lock in the NFL right now. Chiefs are probably the closest thing to a lock. But I do not think that the Seahawks are a lock over the Cardinals. Ramsey is reportedly going to Denver with the Jags, and sounds like he's going to play. Thoughts on my parlay? Cleveland +7, New England -330, Chargers -1100, Houston -220. It's not bad. It's not bad at all. I'm not a big bettor, but I mean, I like all those teams. I like, Cleveland could win that game, so +7's pretty solid. I would play Corey Davis over Sutton if Ramsey's in. Rivers or Matt Ryan? I think you go with Rivers this week. Andres, I probably go. That's tough. I probably go Henry. Allen Robinson or DJ Shark? I would go Allen Robinson over Shark. Injured Stafford or Josh Allen? I'm playing Stafford versus the Chiefs. Andres, you did say that was a standard league, right? If it's standard, then Henry's fine. If it's PPR, then Johnson's easily the play for me. Rivers could throw the ball 15 times this week and have 4 touchdowns. Miami's terrible. Flex option: Diggs, Freeman, Tyrell Williams, Demarcus Robinson. I've been saying it all week. Diggs versus Chicago is a good play. Chicago gives up a lot of points to number 2 receivers. Diggs was also 23 or 21 for 173 and a touchdown in the 2 matchups last year. So it looks like a bad matchup when you look just at Bears defense, but Bears funnel the pass game, so you can score points against them in the passing game. I like Diggs this week. I actually tried trading for Diggs wherever I could this week because people are too down on him. All right, we have a few more minutes before I got to switch over to the VIP group on Facebook. For those of you that are not in the VIP group, it is part of our $2.99 per month subscription at RotoHeat.com. You get into the VIP group, and then the last hour or hour and a half leading up to the games on Sunday, I'm in there live streaming, talking DFS, strategy, lineup construction. We're talking about the inactives, more start-sit questions as news comes out. All that fun stuff. Plus, you get the ADP data that is on our website. Freeman's not in a bad matchup, but I mean, I don't like Freeman. I've never really liked Freeman. That offense isn't the same. They haven't really been able to get going. Have we heard about Ito Smith? Because if Ito Smith's out, it changes a little bit. Ito Smith looks to be in. If I'm not seeing him show up anywhere here. Yeah, that's obviously one that can go either way, but I'd play Diggs personally. All right, any last questions before I log off and switch over? Thanks for everybody that came out. Yeah, Ito was full on Friday, so I like Freeman less. Chicago without Hicks. Are you telling us that he's out? Did they announce that he was out? Roto World. No problem, Joshua. Roto World. I'm not seeing that news, Paul. We'll have to keep an eye on that. All right, everybody. I appreciate you guys coming out this morning. I hope that I have helped you with anything that you needed. Hicks is out. Okay, Hicks is out. Hicks being out opens up a lot of Dalvin Cook, and he's going to be under-owned in DFS, so if you're a DFS player, Dalvin Cook looks a lot better. Don't forget, Bilal Nichols was already out, so the Bears are missing a couple of their defensive linemen that opens up the running game. They're still not going to be horrible, but they're not nearly as good. So, yeah, that's so yeah, that opens that up a little bit. Thank you guys for letting me know that information. Hicks is out, but that is going to be it for the pregame show. Thanks again for everybody coming out. Twitch, YouTube, Facebook. You guys are awesome. I appreciate it.